G'day mates, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be covering all the craziness that's gone on in the last few days in pretty much every single region. Today's video was going to be a full EU recap, and then everything's now going to change. We have Aqua, Wolfiez and CRR splitting as a team, and it wasn't a pretty split. You had CRR tweeting out, "Sick, love it when my two teammates hate each other," so we'll cover exactly what happened there, what that's going to do to the EU scene. We also have big changes on NA West. We had Reet, Wavyjacob and Favs, pretty much one of the favorites to win NA West, actually split up. And originally it was Reet and Wavyjacob was looking for a third and Favs was going off on his own. But now it looks like it's Wavyjacob, Favs who found a third, and Reet's been left on his own. And Wavyjacob's new team is insane. They just broke the point record today, their first tournament together. Also, NA East is always got to get involved with the drama as well. We have Zayt's team switching their drop spot from uncontested Dirty Dogs to now go and contest Dubs, Megga and Eclipsae for the Hydro Dam. So yes, Zayt's team is either going to lose on spawn or go into endgame with the RPG. Also, end of today's video, I want to give you guys a quick run through of how this new tournament's going to work. It's like Share the Love Part 2. It's a Valentine's Day tournament with a free skin on the line, but it has a very different format. So I'm going to run you through how you should play the tournaments to make sure you get your hands on the free skin. Let's start off talking about EU with Aqua, Wolfiez and CRR splitting as a team. And now we don't know too much about this situation because none of them streamed it. None of them have really made a statement on it. The most information we got was CRR tweeting out that, "Sick, love it when my two teammates hate each other." We had Wolfiez tweet out, "Looking for trio," and then responding, "Not bait." And then we had Aqua also tweeting out, "Looking for trio," and then the snake emoji. So it looks like it's very real right now. I'm guessing they just had a lot of conflict in the Cash Cup today. They didn't end up doing insanely bad. They came 71st with 173 points, which for this team is obviously not ridiculous, but a lot of really good teams struggled and, you know, they weren't splitting up over it. We had iDrop, Tayson and Mr. Savage get outplaced by them. They came 72nd. We also had Flick, Anas and Thomas HD, one of the favorites to win FNCS, come in on 67th. So even though they didn't do great, it's not insanely terrible, and this team's known for being pretty inconsistent with how they play anyway. I mean, the last Cash Cup, they came 21st on 189 points, which isn't that much better, and it was off the back of some of the most inconsistent games you've ever seen. They got a 52 elim win, and then it was like they had an 11 elim second, but then a 0 elim 28th. They had a 0 elim 27th, 0 elim 26th, 1 elim 28th, but then they had 26 elim second. So they're clearly a team that goes for big frags. They either get big points or nothing, which is a bit of a concern coming into FNCS anyway, but clearly there's some personality issues and some clashes in there as well. Aqua and Wolfiez, I'm guessing, just not getting along at all. And the weird part is now as well, it wasn't like Wolfiez tweeted out looking for one for trios and it was maybe CRR and Wolfiez are going to stay together. CRR hasn't made any statement on where he falls in this. Is he going to go with either of them? Are they going to make an entirely new team? Maybe tomorrow they kiss and make up, but based on the tweets and none of them having been deleted like 10 hours later, this is pretty legit. It's going to be interesting to see what this does to EU. Like I said, I had a fully planned full EU recap video to make today. Drop spots, who's playing well, who's playing with who, and that is going to be coming. But with these three players now potentially looking for trios, this could break up and change things massively. So I want to wait at least a day until this settles. If nothing more happens, I'm going to film that video. But as far as my prediction on how this could go, I've really got no clue. It's interesting to see as well because Aqua is one of those players that speaks German and English, so he fits into a few of the different bilingual teams. Wolfiez and CRR obviously sticking to English teams, which is always a consideration to make on EU. I don't know who is looking for a team this close to FNCS that are these guys' caliber, so that's where I can expect a kind of NAE snakening effect like Zayt had, where the only way they fall on teams is other teams breaking up to fit them in. So any other team that hasn't been performing right now in EU, I'm scared to say there is a potential they'll split. Now, what would an Aussie Antics video be without covering some kind of NA East drama? And of course, yet again, it is because of my man Zayt. He is creating more and more content for me every single day. We have Zayt announcing today that he is going to be doing a Hydro Dam split with Stretch and Saf for Trio FNCS, despite the fact they have uncontested Dirty Dogs. And you guys know from my videos from the start of this season, or at least as Gold has gotten more and more strong, I've been saying that Dirty Dogs, Misty Meadows are the two best drops on the map. map, and then some of these other drops that are allowing to get exotics like Queasy split around the center of the map. Don't worry, I'm thinking about making an entire video on how you guys can get your hands on the exotics as well. But this is a drop that I guess why they're going for it is Hydro Dam. It's a guaranteed RPG. The only guaranteed way to get an RPG, the only other way is from a shark, which takes a lot of effort and requires a lot more luck to actually get it. And we all know Zayt's strategy in every single game, especially this meta, is going for height. He full psychos height. Height is his place, and that's how they plan on winning FNCS. One of the easiest ways to get height and the easiest counter to height is the RPG. So it makes sense they want to drop on it to secure that for themselves, but it's not going to come easily. I'm guessing Zayt probably thought that he was going to just waltz into Hydro Dam, take it like he did with Dirty Docs against Clarity's team. No, Megga, Dubs, and Eclipsae have said they are not leaving. They are going to 50-50 them every single game, 12 out of 12, which Zayt's all for. Zayt then responded tweeting out saying, if you're not first, you're last. I'm either winning or finishing dead last this FNCS. No fun in getting top 3. So I'm guessing Zayt's mentality is he doesn't care if he's contested for this drop. Similar to Doom's Domain, he's going to go there because either he alphas it and he gets the loot that he thinks is going to win him FNCS, or he's going to come last and he doesn't care because it's first or last. The interesting part about this is, and I caught it right before the tweet was deleted, as soon as Zayt announced that he was going to Hydro Dam, we had Mikey, Clarity, and Niddle say on Twitter that they were going to be dropping Dirty Docs again, taking their old drop spot back, and it looks like they're back together now. Clarity went and played with Clicks for a little bit. Obviously, they've now got Booger on their team, and he's gone back to his old trio. But Dubs also tweeted out landing Dirty for FNCS with Megga and Eclipsae. I mean, as you can see from the tweet that I saved, they were literally above each other within a minute. Dubs deleted this tweet and then said that they're going to go back to Hydro Dam. So it doesn't make me as confident. I mean, I'm not going to base too much off a tweet, but clearly it's in their mind when they first heard that Zayt was coming. Let's just leave. Let's go Dirty Docs. It's going to be easier. And then, oh, there's another team going back to Dirty. Let's go back to Hydro Dam. It's already not that kind of mentality that you clearly see that Zayt has, where he genuinely doesn't care about alphaing drops and he will fight it on spawn 12 games in grand finals if he has to. So I don't know who's going to leave. Megga, Dubs, and Eclipsae have a lot more experience there. They've been dropping there for a lot more time. The biggest issue with this split for me is it doesn't work as well when you're contested. If you see how Zayt has outlined it in his tweet, he's obviously kind of included Flush Factory and the little island that's at Misty. So they're going to do some fishing. They want to do a really nice wide split. If they get contested, it means all three of them are going to have to full send it on the Hydro Dam. That's the only way you're going to be able to alpha this area of the map, which is going to massively reduce the amount of loot they get, and it's just going to cause a bunch of issues. You've got Jack, Acorn, and Slacks right next to them at Slurpy Swamps, and I mean, Jack himself tweeted out saying, hey neighbors, he's aware of what's going on. They're going to walk over and they're going to be looking for easy Storm Surge or potentially a cleanup opportunity, walking away with the RPG themselves. So I don't really know. If they alpha this and they get it to themselves, you could argue it might be stronger than Dirty Docs, but when you've already got, in my opinion, one of the best drops on the map, so much gold that it guarantees all epic upgrades, a whole bunch of loot, fishing, good rotations, and you're giving that up at a chance at uncontested Hydro Dam, I just don't know. But it's Zayt. No one's going to question the dictator. If Zayt says it's a better drop, everyone's going to agree it's a better drop. I guess we're just going to see how it goes. Moving on to NA West, we have Wavyjacob, Favs, and Reets splitting up as a trio, one of the best trios on NA West. And this was a kind of weird one for me. I can't exactly figure out what happened because at each point, they were all looking for trio. They were together. I don't know. At one point, it was Reet and Wavyjacob. They were looking for a third, and Favs had been dropped. He tweeted out he was looking for a trio. And then at one point, Wavyjacob tweeted out he was looking for a trio. So I don't know if that meant Reet and Favs were looking for a third. And then now we have Reet tweeting out that he's looking for one with Macon, and that Wavyjacob, Favs have picked up Jay to make their trio, and then Reet and Macon have now picked up 40R Storm to make their trio. So whatever happened in the middle, I don't really know why they split up as a team. They've been doing pretty well. Again, kind of like the situation with CRR, Wolfiez, and Aqua. Bit inconsistent. They dominate when they get their really high point games, but they weren't, you know, winning every single cash cup. But now that both teams have split, they're actually looking really, really good. I mean, clearly I don't need to say how good Wavyjacob's new team is, they managed to win today, setting a point record of 276 in the NA West Cash Cup. And look at this match history. They had a 35 elim win, a 23 elim third, a 17 elim second, 19 elim third, 12 elim win, 10 elim 8, their worst game, and a 19 elim win. They managed to get almost nearly an average elims of 20, and I think they pretty much beat second place by a 37 kill win. That is how big the margin was between them and any other trio on West. Reets team with Megga and 40R also not looking too shabby at all. They managed to come 12th on East and then 7th on West, so they performed insanely well as well. Wavyjacob's team didn't play East as a full trio, so can't really compare there, but either way, both teams are looking really, really good after the split. So it's kind of one of those situations where you guys know my stance. Whatever happened, happened. And if they're both on good teams now, then who really cares? It's just better for the rest of us. I guess this was all for the best. Another performance I need to talk about today was Centered and Edgey's. They managed to win the NA East Trio Cash Cup playing with their usual trio of Commandment. They got 221 points and took out first place. They then managed to back it up by going straight into the West Cash Cup and coming second with Snake as a fill. They came first in the NA East Cash Cup and second in NA West. You got to remember, NA East and NA West Cash Cup starts right after each other. So if you go into your final NA East game right before the timers close, like most winning teams do, you get out about half an hour late. They then manage to queue straight into West and dominate again. That's over 6 hours of just pure domination and focus in trios, and it has them looking so ridiculously good coming into the FNCS. All right, let's talk about how you can do well in a tournament now. We have the Hearts Wild Cup, which is to celebrate Valentine's Day. It's a duos tournament, and it'll be taking place today as of this video coming out for NA East, EU, any of the other regions after my videos come out. For those of you guys in OCE, Asia, Middle East, I'm sorry I didn't get this video out before for you guys, but basically it's your chance to win a free skin and a back bling. And honestly, this skin is pretty clean. It's looking pretty nice. And now the main thing I want to talk about is the format. As far as each region goes, you can go check Fortnite Tracker what you have to come to get the skin yourself. I mean, for example, NA East is at top 875, and that's duos. OCE smaller regions were like 125. EU is 1,750th. So I mean, duos, that's not too bad. Coming top 3,500 players in EU isn't all that bad, but the format is insane. The most placement heavy format I think I've ever seen. It's 42 points for the win, and each elimination is 1. So you have to get 42 kills to equal a win. That is so placement heavy. It's not just how many placement points you're getting overall you need to pay attention to. You need to know exactly when you get them, because there's a few really, really important points when it comes to the placement that you're going to want to avoid fights to make sure you get there. Because it starts at top 50, so just starting the game gets you 1, but top 34 gets you 3, and top 29 gets you 3. So surviving from those 5 placements or 6 duo placements, you're going to get 6 points. That's wiping 3 whole teams, which is so valuable. So make sure you write this down or you keep track of it somewhere. So when you think, hey, we're about to push a fight, wait, there's 35 teams left. Let's wait just in case. That's the period when you're really going to want to be safe. Right from that top 34th to top 29th. After you get those, if you want to play a little bit more aggressive, you can. You've got 10 games, 3 hours. So you've got a few games to throw away. But instead of dropping out of the bus and going straight W key, like, you know, Salty Towers, Misty, Dirty, maybe go somewhere that lets you have like a little bit of a spawn fight, get to that top, you know, 29 mark, which is only surviving, what is that, like 11, sorry, yeah, 21 different duos. That's not that long into the game. Then you start W keying again after that. Then you're back to only getting 1 placement point for every real point until you get to top 3, which is +2, top 2 is +4, and the victory hour is +6. So obviously going for the win is important, but the pacing for these games is really going to matter around that 6-point threshold, because that is going to make a big difference. If you can get those extra 6 points, let's say 7 of the games, that is going to be so massive compared to just missing out on it. If you just go down a little bit before that of 4 or 5 games, and then you have 4 or 5 games where you go on to get like top 5, you'll actually end up being on less points overall. And obviously it goes without saying, with 42 points for the win and each elim worth 1, this is not a W key format at all. I know it's for a skin, I know it's for a back bling, and I'm not expecting to have like active Storm Surge games, but if you really want to get your hands on a skin and you really want to place in a tournament and you want to, I don't know, flex your placement from this cup, try to play for placement. This is your chance, if you're a placement warrior, to really try and work on your rotations. Try to go somewhere that's maybe a little bit safer on spawn. Try to get some good loot though as well. You don't want to be running around shambles, but I would try to avoid the salty towers, the dirty docks, the misties if you can. Maybe start looking more towards like Camp Cod, maybe some of like the log jam splits. Try to go somewhere a little bit more on the edge of the map to make sure that you come out looted, but you're surviving until you get that, you know, top 29 placement, and then go from there. Maybe take some mid-game fights on dead side and try to get some of the elims, but ultimately this is going to reward hardcore placement. I know today's video is a little bit all over the place. It was bits and pieces from NA East, NA West, EU. I do want to make some of those detailed drops videos where who are the teams playing with, where are they dropping, how are they looking, all that kind of stuff. But I needed to make today's video because these are some huge topics breaking down. If in the next few days things are still going crazy, I'll just make those videos and let you guys know this is how it stands now. It could change in an hour for all we know. But if you liked today's video, if it kept you up to date, please chuck a like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. It would mean the world to me. Thank you so much for all your support right now. It has been insane. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.